This is Hot Mic.
Hot Mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2, we're rolling here on a Football Friday. About a half hour from now, we'll do some picks with my dad to wrap up the week in style. We got our Eliminator picks in. We are only down to, Eric, how many we got left? Five of us are left to win the Eliminator, and unfortunately, we have to give a Ryder Cup update because we're getting our butts kicked already out in New York. That's coming up as we roll on. But it is a Friday night high school football taking center stage across the state tonight as EDC, WDA play opens in the big schools. We're looking forward to that. And region play going on all across the state. Class A, interesting times now. We talked about this before the season began with Central Cass moving up, Kindred moving up. What's going to happen in Class A football? Well, the usuals are at the top. Langdon's pretty good, and our next guest team is pretty good. Velva, Garrison, Drake, Animus, the defending state champs in Class A, out to a 3-1 start. Head coach Matt Weidler joins us here on this Friday morning. Great to see you, bud, after another good start to the year. I'm interested knowing what you lost, but bringing back some good amount of talent, but also knowing you're getting everybody's best shot. How's the team handled that so far in 2025?
Pretty good. I think, we suffered the loss early, and I don't know if it's always, obviously you're trying to win the game and sometimes it's not best to lose, right? But I think our guys have learned from that. If we can learn from it, we have. And so have I as a coach and our staff, maybe what our strengths are. And we've adjusted some things here the past few weeks to, we feel has benefited our team, maybe a little more heavy in the run, 12 personnel, 21 personnel. I like our guys that we did have return. We've still got 11 seniors on our team after losing 10.
Yeah.
And for us going into the year, we knew we were going to be okay up front just because of the number of guys we had returning. 4 starters and a fifth guy coming back that suffered a knee injury early. So, we've started to lean on those guys a little more here in the past few weeks in the run game.
When you lost the game to Harvey Wells County, is that something in the locker room saying, all right, boys, we've got to figure this out? Like, describe what that was like after the game a few weeks ago.
Well, it is, and I think we do get a lot of the team's best shots going into it, and our guys need to understand that. And you talk to them, but there's a lot of new guys playing new positions or not positions starting. But it's for us. We knew Harvey was going to be good. That's why we always get them on the schedule. They got a really good program. They're coached really well, and give them credit. They gave us a lot of fits defensively, and we struggled offensively. I like the way our defense played, and they played really good all year, but it was just back to the drawing board. You're only in week 2 and there's a lot of season left. And for us, it's just getting in the conference play and trying to take one game at a time there and get those wins there.
When you were going through camp, knowing full well what you lost, describe that who's going to be the guys? Just how was that difficult, challenging through fall camp of determining who's going to be your guys out there this year?
Not really. We had a pretty good idea. I mean, we had a pretty good off season, and our guys had a pretty good summer. And we go to a team camp every year at Dickinson State. We've been doing that for about 25 years. So we had a little bit of an idea who's going to play where. And then as the season goes on, you find different playmakers, so to speak, and adjust your schematics to where we can best utilize our talent. And then it's just trying to build depth. And we've had a couple kids, I don't know, surprise us, but get ahead of the curve a little bit earlier than we thought. So that's been good for us too.
To have that loss, I mentioned you talked about maybe not necessarily a good thing, a blessing in disguise, but how's the team respond? Certainly you've won the last 3 games since you had the loss.
Yeah, they've responded really well. I think our preparation has been really good. I think our attention to detail maybe has been a little bit sharper in practice, and that's on us as a staff too. To make sure those guys are locked in every day. But at the same time, I tell the kids, like, this is your guys' deal here too. Like, we need you to do your part as far as film study and taking a leadership role as far as getting our younger kids rolling. So it's been really good. Our guys didn't waver a bit after the loss. It was back to work, and that's what I like to see as a coach.
For you as a coach, knowing, okay, we're the champs, people are going to come. How do you handle that, knowing the kids are obviously thinking about it for you as well? Like, all right, there comes with a price of winning a state championship like you did last year.
Yeah, I guess for me, I don't try and change week to week. It's just trying to, get your message across that we would like to play into November and what does it take to get there? And it's getting better every week. And it's kind of seems like a cliche, but it's true. Like, what can you do as an individual, whether it's a coach or player, to get yourself better? And then as a group collectively, how do we go about getting better each week? I think, and it's so hard, you're limited with time every day in practice, and you got guys going both ways, and there's only so much time. So, we did maybe go back to 15, 20 minutes of practice and cutting some things short, but to get back to the fundamental or the details of whether it's ball security or just tackling and things like that, that I think that's helped us here the past few weeks as well.
I got to ask, we were talking about it before you came on air, and you're as a coach, you're in it, knowing full well what was going to happen with Class A after last season of this. How are you like, well, I don't know either. Like, how did you approach it, not knowing what teams were gone and who's going to be good this year in your division?
Yeah, it is a little different. Obviously, Kindred, Castle, and Allen, they've been really good the past few years. But I think statewide, a lot of teams had a lot of seniors, so it's kind of, you don't really know. We don't get a lot of crossover. You don't see as many teams, just because of how it works. Like,
Right.
Langdon's really good this year, and I kind of thought they would be just with the number of guys they have returning. I do think Class A is going to be really interesting here the next 8 weeks as you try and get down to the Dakota Bowl, like who's coming out. I think, and at the same time, when you got a lot of new faces, like any team from week 1, 2 is not going to be the same week 4 to 5 and 7 to 8. Everyone's changing, whether it's from injuries or just getting better. So, I think there's a lot of big games left to be played within our class, and it's going to get interesting.
Is that good? Scary? A little bit of both? What are the emotions on that? Like, it's just the unknown of not knowing what's to come.
A little bit. I mean, it's one of those for us, and like our conference has been really good this year, so we're trying to get ourselves in position, and obviously get in the playoffs. We got a little bit of work left to do, but get yourself in position, and then from there, it's there's teams that have went on the road for 3-4 games and made it to Dakota Bowl.
Yep.
So it's kind of just getting a chip in a chair, so to speak, and get yourselves an opportunity at a chance to go.
Has the Gage Florence statue gone up in Velva yet? Can you confirm or deny that?
Not yet, but it could be close. He had a phenomenal career. I'm so proud of him. For me, it's like I got to figure out a way to get down to one. They've been just how it works in my kids, so I'm going to get to one here in a couple of weeks. But Gage has been an extremely hard worker since he was little. It was, what he's done is unbelievable. But to me, it's not a surprise just how hard he works, and he. For the number of catches he's had, he's an extremely unselfish player. He have a game where he has 17 and he goes for 3 the next day, but you sit and watch him on the field in his games, he doesn't change. He's excited for another teammate to catch a ball. So, I'm hoping they keep throwing the ball to him, and he's got a little ways to go, but he's going to get close to that D2 record.
Well, and think about that. I mean, the guy who could have the all-time Division II record for receptions, you coached. I mean, you got to be over the moon on that.
Yeah, you sitting back, look now, maybe we should have thrown the ball more. Played running back. We utilized,
what are you doing, right?
Yeah, we utilized him in the past game, but we had just talking back then, we had a pretty good idea he was going to get moved to just by the way he moves and his stature. So it's been great, and he's definitely fallen into that role as a receiver and gotten better each and every year.
How much does that do? And I know we talked last year with Ben getting his opportunity with NDSU, that you have a guy like Gage to go and do it, to say to your current team, this can happen with hard work and you mentioned a chip in a chair, you can have a chance to do that.
Yeah, it is. And our guys, you find out early who really loves the game and wants to play. And we do have a handful. We'll have a few this year that'll continue on to play, and I think that'll continue. The nice part is, there's a lot of opportunities for North Dakota kids just within the number of schools here. And And I think, whether you're playing Division I, and everyone probably has that goal of Division I, and you see whatever, you can read the writing on the wall, but, college football is football, and there is a lot of good guys maybe playing NAI D2 that could go play Division I. It's just getting that opportunity and then making the most of it. And, that's what Gage has done. And we Jersey Selzer starting at quarterback, and Cordier is a guy that's kind of put in his time in his 5th year. And, so that's exciting there. And a number of guys, Hank Bodine's actually playing right now at Western Carolina. He's games already. And so it doesn't look like the red shirt's going to be on him the rest of the year. So it's been good for us. A lot of football being watched on Saturdays.
Well, I was going to say, you got 2 guys here in Concordia. You got to get over here, man. What do you do? You got to get out to Moorhead and watch a couple of your guys.
Yeah, I actually went and watched Jersey's first start there on September 6th against Mayville. We got out. It worked out good being a night game, but we'll get to one of Gage's here, probably the one down in Bismarck and maybe in Mankato at the end of the year.
Well, I know last year signing day in your gym, you had 5 guys sign. Just that is uncommon in your level of football. How big a deal was that?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty proud, that those guys continued and earned those opportunities. It was fun. It was fun being able to coach those guys. There was a lot of things you didn't have to coach. It was hard work and there's some talent in there, but they've earned that right to get down there, and it's been, and I've talked to all those guys, and it's adjustment for some of the young guys, but they're really enjoying it. And it's good, and represent Velva, great kids, great student athletes. So we're really proud of all those guys.
What has Ben Shep told you about his first couple months in Fargo with the Bison?
He said it's a grinder. It's a grinder. It's
Did you tell him you know?
Yeah, right. No, he's enjoyed it. It's the work that goes into each and every week, and he's really enjoyed the coaching staff, he said, and the players. Like they've all got one common goal, and you can tell. And it's it's been good for him to get down there. He hasn't said it hasn't bothered him being away. He was down there early in June, so he's enjoying it. Just the learning curve and the speed is a little bit of an adjustment. So the red shirt's good. He knows he's got a lot of work to do left.
Last thing before I let you go, and I really appreciate you doing this on a game day. Do you have a superstition or tradition you do before each game yourself? Like either you don't come out to a certain time. Is anything you have like that?
Yeah, the only thing I usually do is we'll send 2 different groups out to the field. Our specialists will go do some things, and I'll usually come out 6-7 minutes after that. Just walk. It's about a 4 or 5 minute walk out to the field. So I usually just walk out there by myself. It's a time for me to kind of collect my thoughts and think about different situations that might come up. And, that's about the only thing that I do as far as pregame ritual.
Yeah. How special is a home game, though, tonight? Like tonight, whether it's going to be dynamite, just a night game, home game tonight, what is it that for people that haven't experienced a game there that will happen tonight?
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. For us, it's homecoming this week, too, so there's a little added flair to there. Community's great. They got tailgating going on before the game, and the great crowd on hand, especially when we get at home. Our crowds travel,
awesome,
but when we get at home, it's pretty good, and our guys get excited about it. So, for us, it's trying to continue to get as many home games moving into October, November as we can.
It's great to see you, bud. Thanks so much for doing this. Good luck with the Ray Jays tonight, and we'll talk soon, all right?
You bet. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate it.
Good to see you. There goes Matt Weidler joining us. Velva Drake Anamoose Garrison, head football coach. Velva's 4-1, rolling again in Class A football. They've got Ray at home tonight. Again, we had Josh Kravachka on the show, head coach at Langdon before the season got going. Cardinals are 5-0. No, I don't want anybody in Kildare to get mad at me. Cowboys are having a dynamite year. I tried to get Kildare lined up a few weeks ago. Couldn't make it work. We'll get that because they're rolling as well so far this season. But it is a different deal, honestly, looking at Class A and the last poll that came out, and you see, Trinity's good again, and they're always there. But without those 2 heavyweights, it just opens everything up. And it's kind of interesting to see who's going to fill that spot. Kildare has been one of them so far in 2025. Our thanks to Coach for giving us a few minutes. All right, we'll break. We come back. I've got the lineup of games to get us ready for a great night of high school football. Bunch of emails to get to, and unfortunately, a Ryder Cup update is coming on a Friday morning. Hot Mike rolls on after this.